Alright, again, this course has no prerequisite to have any knowledge of Excel. So coming in, we're all at different spots. Some of us may have already taken a course, some may never take a course. But to use Excel to do some of the math we're doing is going to be very powerful. So let's take a look at it's excelsim problem 1.2, still from section 1.1 homework. The key thing here is using this average function, but we will walk through this whole thing as well. All right, so we have 2 exam grades, 12 homework grades, paper grade, and a grade for the final. What we're trying to figure out is the overall grade, step by step. Part A, compute the mean homework grade and the mean of the 2 exam grades using the average function. So again, I believe if you did this longhand or with a calculator, add all these up and divide by 12, cool, it's going to work. However, let's use the power of Excel. Okay? So always, again, start with an equal. That tells Excel, like, hey, you're going to do some work for me. I'm not just typing something. Either an insert function or AutoSum, you will find quite a few of the functions we will need. I'm going to check out both. So we can see here there's average. Right? There's also min, which we're going to need in this one as well. And there's sum, which we could do the average by hand. By sum would be add up all the 12, so it'll do that for us, and then we hit divide 12. When we look in this insert function, there's a lot more. Again, your Excel will have significantly more functions than this Excel simulator, but this will do. So let's do this average. And it didn't. Sometimes this thing's a little finicky, so you may end up needing to type it yourself. Average. I'm also using a Mac. Sometimes that doesn't work the best with some of these programs. So I know my Excel, I don't have average. Well, it may have average, but another term for average is mean. So either way, these all should work. Okay, but what's cool is instead of saying, all right, take the mean of this, 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 all the way through to M2, right, B2 to M2, you just click, and then you drag, and notice it's using a colon, B2 colon M2. That's telling Excel, use all these cells in between B2 through M2. That way we don't have to type in 12 of them. Hit enter. There we go. There's my average. Now just to verify if I did use average, so 87.58 and a string of 3s. Let's make sure that works. AVG worked, and I believe if you type in average, that will also work. Okay, they all do the same. Now, in the directions though, format your answer to 2 decimal places. That should be picky in here. So decrease my decimal down to 2. All right, enter your responses in cell N2, which we did, and B7, we need the average of these two. Equals average, parenthesis, just 2 of them now. Notice it's going vertically this time, but that's okay. It's telling it all the cells between B5 to B6. Close the parentheses and hit enter. There's that average. We can't get 2 decimal places because there's only 1. If you did this by hand, the answer is 85.5. Part B, compute the total grade for the class using this weighted average formula. This weighted average is important. Our project 1 will have to do with some weighted averages, although you'll notice it will be slightly different at that point. Mostly because if we don't have the final yet, you can still compute your grade up to that point. Anyways, they want this in cell B16. So here we are in B16. Equals 40% multiplied by shift 8 star exam average, that's there, plus 15% multiplied by homework average from N2 plus 20% multiplied by the paper, that's here, be 10, plus 25% multiplied by the final. Right, make sure everything looks good. Looks good. If we look at the formula in part B, hit enter. 3 decimal places. Be sure to do that. There we go. Now part C switches it up a little bit. Your professor says that the lowest homework grade will be thrown out. Calculate the lowest homework grade using the min function. Okay, if we look up here, we could just see the lowest homework grade. This 42 kind of sticks out. However, if you had hundreds and hundreds of items, I don't really want to look through that. So we could do this min feature, equals min. That's the minimum. Again, you should be able to find it in this function. Minimum of these grades. Right? So it's going to go in there and find the lowest homework score. Hit enter. So now we need the new homework average, and we're going to need to take the sum of those 12 and take out this 42. Right? So equals, we could do sum parentheses. Sum again means add. Add all these up, right? Minus that smallest one. I'm just going to, we could type 42. I'm going to click 42 in cell B19, hit enter. So this is if I added the 11 top scores, so therefore the average is now, if I take this, but I need to divide it by 11 instead of 12. Format your answer to 2 decimal places. All right. Remember that an average means add up all your data, divide by however many you have. Well, I only had 11 now because I'm taking out that minimum. Okay. Last part, recompute your grade. So now we're going to use this same function here. I don't think excelsim lets us copy and paste, unfortunately. Let's try. Command C. Be careful when you start clicking. I have a really bad habit of that. Command V. Alright, it did work. Awesome. So it saves us a lot, but we need to change that homework score. Right, that homework average was the 15% times N2. Well, it's not N2 anymore because our new average is here. It's D19. So same exact formula. You can use Command C to copy or Control C, Control V to paste. Change that homework down to this new average. Hit enter. And notice the grade jumped a little bit. Typically dropping one homework isn't going to do a whole lot, but it does help. And be sure to check your answer, make sure you're good. If it's 100%, submit, otherwise fix some errors and try it again. Alright, hope that helped.